Oops, wrong ones.
The Wade and Carter Show is a day of programming, and KHMC Magic 95 assumes no responsibility for its content, and the Wade and Carter Show bears all responsibilities for their opinions and guests on their show.
Coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show, Caleb Shaw joins me in studio. We'll talk impeachment. We'll talk Super Woke Bowl,
And new
stimulus, and a whole lot more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show. Good. I got to go the right way.
We'll make it work. Do you still switch and read off of here?
Hmm?
Do you still switch? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, good morning.
Good morning, my friend.
How are you?
Man, I made it to the new studio. I feel very
First
blessed.
time here. What do you think?
Man, it's cool. I gotta readjust. I'm walking into microphones here, grabbing the wrong stuff, but that's kind of the story of my life. So we'll take it.
A little bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, man, I like it. You guys did good. You're growing up, and I'm proud of you.
Literally growing up. We're on the 5th floor.
Yeah, I like that. It's kind of cool looking out. It'll be neat when the sun comes up.
If the fog lifts.
Yeah, that was fun driving in this morning.
Wasn't it?
I'm not gonna lie about that. And gave everybody an excuse to go even slower when I'm trying to find a new studio.
At least I can't complain today about folks not driving with headlights on because I didn't see any of those idiots this morning. So that's always a good thing.
Good, or you just didn't see them.
Well, there's that too.
Yes, one of the two.
Thankfully, they didn't hit me.
Yes, sir.
Today's weather brought to you by Deerland Feed Store. For all you need for over 50 years, Deerland Feed has been there providing it for Victoria County and others in the region. 66 degrees. We've got fog in the area, as you can tell, and we're heading to a high of about 78 today. Dense fog advisory in effect through the middle of the morning. So be careful when driving, and make sure you've got your headlights on, folks, and take extra time. Leave extra space between you and the vehicles in front of you. Dense fog advisory in effect until 10 o'clock this morning, and high today 78. So going to be a nice one once the fog lifts.
Sounds good, man.
So let's see. I'm trying to think. It's been a while since you've been on.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that last night. Have I been on in 2021 yet, or was it last year?
I don't think so. I think it was towards the end of last year.
I can't believe we're already in February. Already almost halfway through February. Oh,
Yeah,
well, did I break stuff already?
No, I don't think so.
Or did we just not start the YouTube?
No, YouTube's going.
Let's see that. I'm back to breaking stuff. There we go.
YouTube's there. I can't get the
Facebook was giving me heck yesterday when we were uploading the new show. I got about 10 errors in a row, and finally Steve had to upload it for me because it just wasn't happening.
How is Meet Victoria going?
Man, I'll tell you what, we just fired up season 2. Everything is going really well. We got the Meet Victoria season 2 rolled out, and then we also fired up the event show, Victoria Events with Caleb Shaw. It's been great. You know, the community, we took down the event show about April 29th or so because there weren't any more events going on. And so, you know,
it's tough to do events with no events.
We tried, we wanted to, but yeah, there wasn't much going on. So, but now things are happening again. The world is moving, and so we want to be there to help put an eye on Victoria events, things that are happening in the community, and so we are. And then today, when I leave here, I'll be getting in a bee suit. We're going to go out into a bee farm for an episode of Meet Victoria today, and hopefully I don't get stung. But I think that'll be pretty neat. Never done the old bee suit thing, and
cool. I've never done the bees.
As long as I come out of it okay and don't turn out to be allergic to bees, I think it'll be a good time.
Yeah, not the time to find out you got a bee allergy.
No, you know, I've always, you know, that's one of the neat things about me.
Taking EpiPen.
Yeah, no joke. I'm starting to have fun with things like that because we go into the different places and we do different things and we're having fun with it.
That's cool. So, I think I caught your last episode, or at least I thought it was the most recent episode. You were at Elite Fitness, is that?
That's correct. Yep, that was our season 2 premiere.
Okay,
at Elite, Jacob's done Richard over there, 2 brothers, just like my brothers. I always get them mixed up, but Richard Rodriguez over there at Elite, he's done a great job, and everybody over there. It's just one of the other stories in Victoria that's neat to tell, and you know, as you know, when you being from around here and going and talking to everybody is there's just a lot of neat stories. And so that's, you know, who would have thought this afternoon I'd be at a bee farm, you know, and so things like that, it's fun.
Yeah, we've looked. Let's see who's checking in this morning. Lisa Poole, good morning. First one in. Scott Tomko checking in. H.R. Mallory. Rena Scherer's in. Judge Posey, good morning to you. Sheriff Louderback, fresh off an appearance on Tucker Carlson last night.
He did really well, too.
Did really well. He's going to join us. He's going to be in studio on Thursday. Spoke with the sheriff or traded text messages last night from the sheriff for Thursday. And then next Wednesday, I believe, Representative Cloud will make his first appearance in the new studio as well. So lots to talk about with them. Scott Snow, good morning. We'll probably get into a little bit. I'm not going to steal his thunder, but just some of the issues that are going on the border that just absolutely
not good.
No, and just make you wonder exactly where the priorities lie for this administration, because it certainly doesn't seem like it's for this country. Scott Snow, good morning. Bobby Leister's in. Patrick Strauss. Bobby Leister says the Leisterometer is at 737 YouTubers. So we'll take a quick shout out to the 3 YouTubers that are checking in this morning. Good morning to y'all. Marvin Mickish is in. Chris Conrad, good morning. Justin Glass, Robin Moore Knipling. There's the Iceman. Christina Wise, Jeremy Pena, Karen Webb, Lee Gray.
I wonder how many people, like, when I log on and Rush Limbaugh, when his music starts, and then, hello, this is Mark Stein coming in. I always, well, see you later, and I change the station. I wonder how many people do that when they tune in. Wait, it's Caleb. It's Caleb. So, yeah, hopefully not too bad.
Chris Jansen, good morning. David Glass, Randy Langston, Jordan Glass is in. Janelle Sarles. Let's see, who else is in? Terry Murray, good morning. Brent Anderson. I'm sure my beautiful bride Cheryl's checking in. Tiffany's probably not awake. She's awake.
Man,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. She was up at I didn't even hear her get out of bed at midnight to go take care of little man, and she still got up, still took care of me this morning. She's pretty phenomenal.
So, I believe opening arguments in the sham impeachment trial.
Sham?
Begin today.
What do you mean a sham? I mean, this is real deal serious stuff. We have to, we can't move forward until we look back and just reignite the whole country again and get it all in a big fight. Yeah, this really is starting this morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
You almost for once have me speechless on this one. I don't really.
Again, I'm no constitutional expert, but I looked. I did not see anywhere in the Constitution that you impeach a former president or a non-sitting member of anything. I mean, and that to me raises a question. Are we getting to a point now where Congress will just go and put anybody that they oppose on trial to prevent them from ever running for office again just because? Are we at that point now because they're continuing on with an impeachment of a no longer sitting president? Because my understanding was that impeachment is to remove a sitting president for treason, high crimes, misdemeanors, and
Well, why
you know the thing.
Why wouldn't they though? I mean, anything they do right now, as ridiculous as it may seem, is parroted by the media, is championed by the media. There will be no accountability to it. And my understanding is they know going into this, the votes aren't there. There's unless something dramatic happens, which I wouldn't be shocked if the Republicans, flipped, because they always do, and most of them are very weak spined in my opinion, and but why wouldn't the Democrats do it? Because they'll get all the benefits and none of the negatives out of this, and they'll get to drag Trump back up in front of the nation and remind and I don't think it's Trump, I think it's us, and remind us the lessons that we need to learn, but yeah, this is
some thoughts that we need to think.
Yeah, we just need to be re-educated, and I think this is the beginning of that. And this is they're just going to drag everything back on. And I think it gives them more, kind of like the coronavirus. Again, I think this is a real thing, all of these things, but on a scale of 1 to 10, I think it's a 4 that we've blown up to a 45. And I think that's what they'll do with the Capitol protests and riots and things like that, is they'll use it to overreact. And I mean, why do we still have troops there? Why the big massive buildup still, troops still arriving? I just think
Well,
it's
because they're
all,
telling you it's because of the impeachment, right?
yeah,
They didn't
because
need him the first time around.
right, and I mean I'm sure you see all the Trump supporters out in the streets right now burning stuff and so I'm glad that the National Guard is there to keep us safe.
Yeah, isn't it? Aren't yeah. It just supposedly with no live ammunition.
Yeah. No, the whole thing kind of confuses me, to be honest with you. I really am almost at a point in politics where I just completely don't know what's happening anymore. I mean, it never made a lot of sense, and I think that's always been their thing is politics, where life doesn't make sense and we get to play with other people's money, and it doesn't have to. But good Lord, now it's just a whole nother level, and I'm just baffled.
Yeah. Speaking of other people's money, before we dive into the latest round of COVID stimulus, maybe we'll take our first break. And foggy morning. I'm sure there'll be a wreck or two. And if you're in that unfortunate situation, make sure you give Ellen's Wrecker Service a call, 578-6300. In the unfortunate event or circumstance that you need a tow-to go to, give Allen's a call. They're the only one I call, and 578-6300 is the number you need to call if you're ever in that unfortunate situation. VCS Rock and Roll Field Services, the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer, locally owned and operated by the Hartman family, and just a great family. And just to give you an example, for those of you that follow on Facebook, we had a cow aboard her calf last week out at the 2-4, and yesterday I get a text from J.R. Hartman asking how my cow is.
There are not better people in this community than the Hartmans. They've always been there for my family. They've always been there for me. They've always been there for Victoria. The store, the VCS store is just an extension of the Hartmans. It's their kindness, it's their compassion, it's their.
And I drive by their old store on Navarro and wonder how the heck they did it for so long.
I remember the parking when I was younger there. It would scare me. My dad would tell me to go see Mr. Hartman for something, and I hated parking there because you had to back out onto Navarro, and it was for a younger driver, that was a little spooky. But the Hartmans are just amazing people, and VCS is, like I said, is a reflection of who they are and their kindness towards this community.
Yeah, absolutely. And another one that constantly gives back is Bobby Leon and Chesnick Furniture Company, 116 West One Lynn. For all your furniture needs, as they now move into their 101st year of selling furniture to Victoria and the Crossroads region, probably before there was a Crossroads.
Celebrating season 2 of Meet Victoria. I know what an accomplishment that is. I've only got 100 more years to go.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't have enough years to catch up to Chesnick Furniture.
They're phenomenal.
Absolutely amazing, and still celebrating their anniversary with great deals. Stop on by, check out the great folks and the great furniture at Chesnick. They've got something for every room in your home, and you'll be surprised and amazed at not at the price and the value, but the quality is second to none. And American made they really pride themselves on selling best brand furniture and a great American company. So
absolutely, you're gonna be hungry after all that shopping though. When you get that 101 years of outstanding service and furniture, what are you gonna do after that?
Well, today it's Caldo Wednesday Eve, so head over to Veracruz.
My segues just aren't Brett segue. I try. I mean,
I'm
really throwing them out there, you know.
I give you credit.
Yeah, at least I try.
Yeah, but I mean, but you don't have to try very hard to get over to Veracruz to get full, because anything they bring you is going to fill you up. They don't skimp on their portions. They do skimp on the price, and the service is family, and it's just phenomenal and great food. My favorite Mexican place in town.
Good. Well, I'm a big fan. Go get some.
Yeah. There you go. Scott Tomko says the FBI says they're still getting threats of violence from who? We won't ever know. I'm to a point, can you even trust anything the FBI tells you anymore? When you look at all that went on with the fake collusion, and there's something else to talk about this morning, the whole Time story that broke on Friday about colluding with giant tech and big tech.
Saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah. But is there really any... Is there, well, let me rephrase that. Has there been much trust in the FBI? When you go back to J. Edgar Hoover and the manipulation and the files that he had and the leverage he had on people, to basically run the FBI however he wanted to, in cahoots with the mafia when he needed him to be, and on his own. But I mean, does anybody really trust anything the FBI says anymore?
Some of those, the Hoover stuff, whatever, I was too young for. But, I started becoming aware of, my dad being in law enforcement, almost I have a blind trust for law enforcement to a degree. Those are my heroes. Those are the sheepdogs. Those are the ones that, put it out all on the line. So by default, I have a natural trusting towards them. But I feel like, if my memory serves me correctly, it was the Obama administration where I really started kind of seeing the politicization, the word I'm going for there.
I know the
of those offices, and with the attorney general calling himself Obama's wingman, and then once the text and all that during the Trump administration started coming, with Peter Strzok and or Strike or whatever his name was, and and you realize those offices can be politicized, and I got it, and I even started noticing that when I was in the military as the commands and you went up in the ranks and stuff like that, you started seeing people that they've done great, but also their ideology lined up with the guy that they were, going to serve with. And it may not have been about merit. It may have been about ideology. And so when you get into those high ranking places, sadly, I think it's just like anywhere else, there's the boss's people and then there's the people's people.
Yeah, no, that's part of the problem. It's not a reflection of the agents on the street doing the daily, day-to-day grind and carrying out the enforcement at the local levels.
Yep, those guys are studs.
It's the ones above,
yeah. and those guys at the local levels will get the book thrown at them. Well, if they make the slightest mistake, it was something I noticed in the military too. The lower-ranking people, the foot soldiers, will they are to be made an example of, But the higher ups, the ones that make the decisions, that lead with this deception, nothing ever happens to them.
Nothing. They got some mid-level FBI fall guy, Patsy, to take the fall for the whole, fake dossier garbage. And what, house arrest he got or something like that? I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, the only people I recall getting in trouble for anything were General Flynn and Roger Stone and Trump people, but before or after, I can't remember anybody else getting in trouble. All this, we're going to investigate, and what happened?
Jared Dolezal checking in. Yeah, so I would expect that we're not going to see. I'm sure the charge against this one Patsy, and I don't remember the name, is probably going to end up disappearing or be expunged, or he'll be pardoned at some point by Joe Biden, who just continues to write executive orders that seem to make no sense. Sheriff Louderback's going to be on the show Thursday morning, and we'll talk a little bit about some of the things that he's seeing at the border, but and a memo basically, telling him to stand down and not do anything, but catch and release is back from what I understand. I don't get how you can talk $15 minimum wage out of one side of your mouth and then open up your borders to illegal immigrants who completely undercut our current $7.25 minimum wage as it is.
Or the fact that half our businesses are closed today, yet all of these thousands of people can, my behavior is regulated because of COVID, yet all these immigrants I'm doubting are
no
vaccinated
COVID testing.
And COVID test, and I just don't get it. It's so important right now that businesses can be at half capacity and all of this kind of stuff, but there's no danger in just flooding people across the border.
Yeah. No testing. If the irony of, if they have a criminal record, we're not going to deport them. Or if they've broken laws, we're not going to deport them. They've all broken laws to get here.
Yeah.
So you're starting right there. Well, it's a non-violent crime. Well, it still impacts somebody when they take jobs and undercut wages. It doesn't matter where we set the minimum wage, because if you're going to just let illegal aliens flood in over the border $15 an hour doesn't mean anything when you're replacing them with two people that make $7.50 an hour cash under the table and nothing gets paid.
When I always hear, well, Americans won't pick lettuce. Well, they won't pick lettuce for $7 an hour, and I always think that the flip side of that coin is hurts the immigrants, because if things are done correctly, and knowing it's a flawed system, but if things are done correctly, they can get that $15 an hour too, or whatever the minimum thing is. But now it's all distorted and just like most things, it's not built on truth.
And minimum wage doesn't help anybody.
What
I mean, the studies are out there that show that the exact opposite happens. You lose jobs, you lose opportunity for those in those income brackets that need those jobs, and it's
when did minimum wage turn into a living wage? Well, I thought that the whole point of minimum wage is to, at least my minimum wage jobs were to show me I didn't want minimum wage jobs. They were to incentivize gaining other skills and attributes. I got a few.
And I'll be honest, even working part-time, I never settled for a minimum wage job when I was in high school and college. And I would work sometimes two, sometimes three jobs so I could pay for my college, pay for my car, pay for my gas, pay for my insurance.
And now you're just told you're about to get to pay for somebody else's student loans. And that's one of the things, I was the same way. I had 2 or 3 jobs always because I figured out there was things in life that I wanted, and hey, I can go get them. I just have to work for it. And what ticks me off is watching seeing the value and the power of my paycheck get smaller and smaller and smaller because consistently more and more hands are reaching in and taking more of the pie. And I keep hearing this word, equity and it's got to be equitable and all this. Well, I believe in equal opportunity. I believe in an equal chance for everybody to go out and do this. But you're right. Not everybody is going to get up and go work 2, 3, 4 jobs. Not everybody is going to put themselves through college or trade school or learn that skill. And so you start having to split. That leaves it to splitting the progress between the ones that don't work as hard. And that's where I have an issue because they should get the same shot as me, but I'll be dang if they get the same outcome as me because I worked hard for that. And that's what I'm not liking now is everything is about equal outcome.
Well, they've superimposed the word equitable with equality.
Yep.
And they're trying to exchange it. So it's no longer about equal opportunity and equal rights. It's now about equity and being equitable, which means everybody gets the same outcome. Not everybody has the same opportunity. The opportunity doesn't matter anymore. Mm-hmm. The ability for everybody to compete based on your abilities is gone.
That's what's interesting to me too, is how quickly, one politician changes the narrative with one word to equitable, and now you just see, I was reading down the dang VISD bond thing and about 10, 15 of the comments, they sound like they were written by the Biden campaign to ensure an equitable we have to, and I just, again, equality. Yes, we should all have equal opportunity, but this whole equal outcome.
So take the A that one student gets and the F that another student gets, if they even get Fs anymore. And now both students get a C. That's equitable.
Yep. And it would never, but in a way that's what's happening across the board. And they haven't gotten to grades yet, but who's to say, I know a lot of schools aren't keeping grades now, and because you'll hurt the kids' feelings telling them they're wrong on something. Yeah. My wife tells me I'm wrong every day, a lot. And I usually am wrong, but you need to hear that sometimes.
Well, the thing that bothers me with this latest, executive order that's being challenged by, I believe, Arizona and Texas to basically go back to catch and release is that I would say probably for a lot of illegal aliens, the fear of being caught committing a crime and deported might have been a deterrent. I don't know. But as a legal immigrant who is not a citizen, who only has permanent resident status, who may not even be there, may just be visaed because they're here on a work visa, that fear looms over your head. If you're caught doing anything, drunk driving, something more than a serious misdemeanor, a high crime or misdemeanor, gone. You're deported. Your visa's gone. You're out of here. Your livelihood is over. You're back to wherever you came from. So
you did things the right way.
So those that do the right way, are further punished, and those that do it the wrong way, illegally, get rewarded, and their behavior is encouraged, not dissuaded.
Welcome to 2021. That actually, I think it's been a hit. I think that's part of the decline of the country is just all of that. Look at even our progressive tax system. You go out and you hustle, you grind, you work, you get a second job. But what do? We tax your second job at a higher percentage. You put in overtime hours. Well, instead of, hey man, that guy stayed and put in extra work, why don't we knock his overtime rate in half instead of making it more? If you work hard, we punish you. You pay the government. If you stay home and you do nothing, the government pays you. And it's the same thing with my understanding. I've been researching this consumption tax because I hate property taxes. And the only argument that I seem to be able to find from most people is, well, it's not a progressive tax, and lower income will have to pay the same percentage of taxes as higher. Well, I'm okay with that. Like, fair is fair. Like, it's not fair when you start, adjusting that weight to different people and stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna rant. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, I completely agree. Don't buy the things you don't need, and you control how much tax you give to the governments.
Yeah, and that's, I just property tax. I hear people say, well, what's the difference? And well, they will show up and take your home if you don't pay your property taxes. And if you try to fight them, if you try to keep them from taking your home, they will fight you back, and you will lose and you will die ultimately, depending on how far you take it. And that's the difference. Property taxes come with a gun to your head, ultimately, and nobody likes to talk about that, but that's the truth of that extra $6 a month sometimes. Sorry, I'm not even going to try to go there. We don't have enough time to probably kick that hornet's nest.
But you can go to Atzenhofer.com or Atzenhofer. Since 1926, Atzenhofer has been selling brand new and a great selection of gently pre-owned vehicles to Victoria and the Victoria area. Atzenhofer.com is a great place to shop if you're a little leery about getting out in this fog or because of COVID. Look online. They've got enough pictures of every vehicle at Atzenhofer.com that you will have no questions or concerns about the quality of the vehicle that you're buying, whether new or pre-owned. Make your deal and tell them you want to deliver it to your house, and I'll bet you they'll bring it to you as well.
Bet you they will.
Because Tommy Taylor will go to any length to make the sale and make sure you're a happy Atzenhofer customer, because he wants you to come back and buy your next car. So stop on by for your brand new Chevrolets, Cadillacs, Mitsubishi, Mazdas, all the pre-owned brands, and you can even surf and shop from the convenience of your home at Atzenhofer.com. 550-1826. That's the number for White Trash Services. If you're planning any spring cleaning, now's the time to call BJ. Get a roll-off dumpster delivered to your doorstep. Make it easy on yourself. Open the front door, open the back door, wherever that roll-off is, and just start chucking.
I feel like I need a monthly special with them or something, like our coupon card or something, because they're going to end up on my speed dial, because I don't know how I accumulate boxes and stuff so quickly, but it's they've bailed me out a time or two already. They're pretty dang good at what they do.
They really are. Roll-offs for any need, any size, and they've got it's roll-off month. So give them a call. They'll work with you on a great deal.
And they're just good to talk to.
The other thing is they've got people that'll help you.
Yeah.
If you've got a huge cleanup project, they've got labor ready to help you do all the heavy lifting. So you can just tell them, yep, that gone.
Yeah, that's what I did. I didn't have time, and they set it all up, and they did a great job helping me out. Got mission accomplished.
There you go. Razor IT Solutions. Speaking of mission accomplished, mission impossible might be trying to understand your data and your analytics. That's what John Paul Hall does, and the folks at Razor IT Solutions. They can handle all of that data and analysis and make sure that if there's a cyber threat, it's taken care of. They can show you where your vulnerabilities are. They can analyze your data and make your online business perform even better than it already is.
And you don't understand this stuff. You think you do, but you don't. Let JP handle this. He's good at it. he's going to be helping us with our Meet Victoria stuff. JP's the man. Let him help you out.
Speaking of helping you out, if you're in a jam legally, the law offices of Stephen Kidder, the one to call. Stephen is well-versed in all facets of law and can help you out, whether it's family law, you've got civil litigation, you've got maybe business law, you've got land and somebody wants to lease it for cattle. He could probably drop that agreement for you. No legal problem too big or too small that Stephen Kidder can't handle in the law offices of Stephen Kidder. So check out Stephen for all your legal advice and needs. And then Complete 360, brand new location right here in Red River. Everybody that I've talked to is raving about the waffles.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, Brandon does it right. Brandon Webb over there with Complete 360 and now the health bar. They've got their new hours started yesterday.
Opens at 7 o'clock in the morning, so they're open early for breakfast.
And they have a real commitment to customer service. And we had him on our event show yesterday. And you know, Brandon puts his heart into anything. He's another one of those guys like the Hartmans, you know, that he chose to invest in this community when he had nothing. And he put it all out there. And as he's grown, he's continued to invest in this community. And so he does a great job. 2 locations,
just a great example of a business that started and they're still got their location up on North Navarro. And now they've got the one right here in Red River, just up the road. So,
and some of you, myself included, you need to try this healthy eating stuff. You know, Victoria I'm so happy to start to see places popping up with different health options for people because, you know, as much as I love the Mexican food here, it doesn't love me back in the waistline. And so, yeah, it's good that the Health Bar and Complete 360 are here in Victoria.
Let's see. Stephen Kidder says a consumption tax is somewhat regressive, but the guy buying a Range Rover is paying more in taxes than the guy buying a Chevrolet.
Yeah, and again, Mr. Kidder, I don't pretend to understand all of it, but the property tax situation is one that I just find so unfair on so many levels, and again, the threat of losing your home and watching the buying power. You know, that's something I see every day in my job here is how greatly the buying power is reduced for people because of taxes and the burden that places on them, and they're, you know, it's so much more than a cup of coffee. You know, I always hear that, well, just give up your trips to Starbucks, and people see your total tax bill as a property owner that you're getting shellacked. And, you know, and it's hilarious to me or sad that here we are again discussing how half the businesses in this town or most of the businesses in this town are at half capacity. And we're discussing a big old tax on them right now. It makes no sense to me.
Randy Langston says he has a few friends trying to become citizens. That's a huge disrespect to those actually trying to and do things the right way, talking about the illegal alien situation. Most are afraid to say anything because you are on eggshells. And yeah, it's true. You tend to not speak out. You tend to stay, I don't want to say in the shadows because you've done things the right way, but you don't want to jeopardize. And the way that the government has become politicized, especially under Obama and the way he weaponized the IRS. Why wouldn't he weaponize immigration and naturalization to come after you if you speak illy about the administration? And Biden is basically doing the exact same thing. So yeah, it's
and it's sad for those people that have spent thousands of dollars in years. You know, I've had to write letters for some of my friends that are trying to get their American citizenship and stuff.